Below 1,000 meters, sunlight does not exist. It has never existed. The pressure is enough to crush steel. The temperature is just above freezing, and yet something down there is hunting. 95% of Earth's ocean is unexplored. We have better maps of the surface of Mars than we do of our own ocean floor. What lives down there has been evolving in complete darkness for hundreds of millions of years. And the creatures that evolved there did not evolve for beauty. They evolved for one purpose: to find food in a place where food is almost impossible to find. They became the most efficient hunters in the history of life on Earth. The deep ocean begins where light ends, at around 200 meters below the surface. Below that is the twilight zone. Below that is the midnight zone. And below that is the Hadal zone, the deepest trenches on Earth, where the pressure is 800 times what we experience on the surface. A submarine descending into the Hadal zone takes over 2 hours just to reach the bottom. That is how deep the ocean truly is. And in those 2 hours of descent, every single meter of that journey, something is down there, something that evolved to survive it. Scientists estimate that 90% of deep-sea species have never been seen by human eyes. What we have found already has shattered every assumption we had about the limits of life. What we have not found may be even more extraordinary. But today, we focus on the hunters. The animals that evolved extraordinary and terrifying methods to catch food in a world of absolute darkness, starting with one of the most iconic and misunderstood predators in the deep sea. The anglerfish uses one of the most sophisticated hunting strategies in the natural world. In a world of total darkness, it creates its own light, a bioluminescent lure dangling in front of its jaws, powered by bacteria that produce cold blue light. To a starving deep-sea creature, it is the most beautiful thing in the world. It is also the last thing they ever see. When prey gets close enough, the anglerfish strikes in 6 milliseconds, one of the fastest jaw movements of any animal on Earth, faster than the human eye can follow. The prey does not react. It cannot. The teeth of an anglerfish curve inward, which means prey can enter the mouth but cannot exit. There is no escape once contact is made. The stomach of an anglerfish can expand to twice its body size, allowing it to consume prey larger than itself, because in the deep sea you eat whatever you can, whenever you can, because the next meal may be weeks away. There are over 200 species of anglerfish. Most are smaller than a football, but all of them use the same fundamental weapon: light in a world of darkness. The same principle used by the next animal on our list, but on a scale that makes the anglerfish look small. The giant squid has been the source of sea monster legends for thousands of years. Norse sailors called it the Kraken. Victorian scientists dismissed it as myth. We have never filmed a healthy adult giant squid in its natural habitat. We have never seen one hunt. What we do know about how it catches prey makes those legends feel entirely reasonable. The giant squid has 2 feeding tentacles that extend up to 10 meters, far longer than the rest of its body. They strike at speeds of up to 25 body lengths per second. At the tip of each tentacle is a club covered in toothed suckers, suckers with serrated edges that cut into flesh on contact and cannot be pulled free. The eyes of a giant squid are the largest eyes of any animal on Earth, up to 30 centimeters in diameter. The size of a dinner plate. Scientists believe they evolved specifically to detect the bioluminescence produced by sperm whales when they dive into the deep sea, giving the squid early warning of its only natural predator with enough time to escape. Giant squid and sperm whales have been locked in an evolutionary arms race for millions of years, each species evolving to counter the other. Sperm whales found dead have been found with circular sucker scars up to 30 centimeters across on their skin, evidence of battles that happen in complete darkness, half a kilometer below the surface, that no human has ever witnessed. The goblin shark looks like a creature designed by a nightmare. Its snout extends far ahead of its jaw like a blade. Its skin is translucent, so translucent that the pink blood vessels underneath are visible through the surface. It has been called a living fossil, a species virtually unchanged from sharks that swam 200 million years ago, and its hunting method is unlike anything else alive. The goblin shark has a jaw that can project entirely forward out of its face, extending beyond the snout and snapping shut on prey before the prey has any chance to react. This is called slingshot jaw mechanics. The jaw is connected to elastic tissue that stores energy and releases it in a single explosive contraction, launching the jaw forward at speeds measured in fractions of a second. No other shark hunts this way. The goblin shark's snout is covered in electroreceptor pores, the same system all sharks use to detect the electrical fields produced by living muscle tissue. In total darkness, at depth, where vision is useless, the goblin shark does not need to see its prey, it only needs to feel it. Goblin sharks are rarely encountered. We have no footage of them hunting in the wild. Everything we know about their jaw mechanics comes from specimens caught accidentally in deep-sea fishing nets, already dead by the time they reach the surface. What they do in the darkness 1,000 meters below us remains almost entirely unknown. The dragonfish has solved the problem of hunting in darkness in the most extraordinary way imaginable. It produces red bioluminescence from organs beneath its eyes, and then hunts using that red light as a targeting beam. The reason this is extraordinary is that almost nothing in the deep ocean can see red light. The dragonfish hunts with a spotlight that only it can see. The teeth of a dragonfish are transparent. In a creature that lives in complete darkness, transparent teeth are invisible, and in the deep sea, invisible teeth are lethal. When the dragonfish opens its jaws, the teeth disappear. The mouth appears to be empty until it closes. The dragonfish also produces a long chin barbel, a tendril hanging below the jaw with its own bioluminescent tip. Like the anglerfish, this acts as a lure, but unlike the anglerfish, the dragonfish does not wait. It actively hunts, using the lure to drive prey toward its jaws while tracking them with its invisible red targeting system simultaneously. The dragonfish is 30 centimeters long. That is smaller than a ruler, and in the hierarchy of deep-sea hunters, it is considered mid-sized. What comes next on our list is the longest animal ever recorded on Earth, not just in the deep sea, on the entire planet. The Siphonophore is not one animal. It is a colonial organism, hundreds or thousands of genetically identical individual organisms called zooids, each one specialized for a different function, all connected to a single long chain. Together they function as one creature. The longest Siphonophore ever recorded measured 47 meters, longer than a blue whale, longer than any animal ever recorded in Earth's history. The Siphonophore hunts by spreading its tentacles in a vast curtain through the water, each tentacle covered in nematocysts, stinging cells identical to those of a jellyfish that fire on contact. Any creature that swims into this curtain is paralyzed almost instantly. The Siphonophore does not chase, it does not ambush, it simply exists, and the ocean brings prey to it. A single large Siphonophore colony has been observed covering an area of water equivalent to a football pitch. Any creature smaller than a large fish that swims through that area encounters the tentacle curtain. In the deep ocean, where food is scarce, this passive hunting strategy is devastatingly effective. In the deep ocean, every animal we have described, the anglerfish, the giant squid, the goblin shark, the dragonfish, the Siphonophore, they all share one thing. They evolved their extraordinary hunting methods in complete isolation from the surface world, in the dark, under pressure, over millions of years, and we have barely begun to understand any of them. We have explored less than 20% of Earth's ocean, Every time a deep-sea research expedition returns to the surface, it brings footage of species never previously recorded, new hunting strategies, new biological solutions to impossible problems. The deep ocean is not empty, it is full of hunters that have been perfecting their craft in absolute darkness for longer than mammals have existed on this planet. If you found this documentary interesting, the Deep Time channel covers the full story of life on Earth, from the creatures of the deep ocean to the giants of the prehistoric past, to the extraordinary animals alive in our world today. Subscribe, and every week we will take you somewhere extraordinary. We will see you in the next one.